calling, the angels are singing, singing, singing. Oh, oh my gosh, there's people watching. Welcome, welcome to the Light of the Infinite Festival. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so pleased to be here. It's been a long time. Been a long time, been a long time. It's been a long time since I've done one of these live streams. This is a live stream being created and crafted specifically for the Light of the Infinite Festival, which is happening now all around the world. If you want to see other amazing presenters, click on the link. I think there's a link here, which is cool. And my name is Pesach. Hi. A bit about me. I am an online Jewish educator. I run like a Jewish online mystery school for children and for adult children. And I'm also the rabbi and founder, one of the founders of Eden Village Summer Camps, which is sort of like an eco-spiritual, awesome, kind place for children. I'm a sailor. I just came off of a sailboat. Got a whole funny life, but I'm here to talk about the great what's going on. There's a festival today, and there's so many amazing presenters. I got to watch some of the other presenters, and there is some epic clarifications coming down. What a time to be alive, right? I mean, it's a little weird. The world's a little weird. People are quick to complain. But it's also, I mean, just think first of all about the music available to us. The music, the musicians, and just like that I can click a button and have music in my ears. It used to be you had to go see a band of traveling minstrels or just be humming when you went to take a dip in the spring. But now we have so many amazing musicians, and it's so easy to get music into our lives. And also, there is so much wisdom available to us from so many different sources in the palm of our hands. I mean, we got a lot going for us. And I think it's our hope that we're going to take the music and take the wisdom and take our human brilliance, our technological brilliance, and mix them together to make reality a little bit sweeter or a lot bit awesomer. Because you got to do something while you're alive, and elevating reality, I don't know, if you make a list of all the things that you can do, elevating reality is the best and awesomest thing, and it might be the purpose of existence. Light of the Infinite Festival is the name of this festival. And so you're going to see I'm going to be aiming for the light of the infinite, and we might go, woo, but then I'm going to come back. We're going to always come back to the light of the infinite. We come from the light of the infinite to the light of the infinite. I should probably just end here. I wonder if anybody's on here. Can I see? Oh, I can't see. Oh, there's some viewers. That's nice. Hi, viewers. Light of the Infinite is the name of the festival. It's also a name of God. As in, oh my God, right? It's like a famous, one of the most famous God names in the world these days is, oh my God. But, so we're going to talk a little bit about the divine or God, because that's the name of this festival, the infinite. The infinite is straight up one of the coolest, realest, deepest, shallowest names of the divine in the Jewish wisdom tradition, and probably in others as well. The infinite. You're like, what? I went to Hebrew school for 10 years and they never spoke about the infinite. And to that I'd say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But in the Jewish wisdom tradition and the mystical tradition, the Kabbalistic tradition, the most common God name is the Ein Sof, which means the never ending. Yeah. That's the divine name, the never ending. In the Torah, the most common name for the divine is a Yud and a Hey and a Vav and a Hey. Got that? A Yud and Hey, and then down the arm, and a Vav, and a Hey Malek. And if you were to translate this divine name, it literally means the great, or that which was, that which is, and that which will be, which is basically just code word for the infinite. A lot of people have funny ideas about the divine. A lot of people never get to meet the ancient Israelite names of the divine, and they just are left with sort of the dude on a cloud with an epic white beard. He's usually a white guy with a big white beard sitting on a cloud, and he throws stuff at people. Now, sometimes when we talk about the divine, we do personify divine traits. That's common. That's common. But you have to realize we live in a world and there's a lot of influence. Most other religions, their only version of the divine is a dude on a cloud, right? Right? The ancient Egyptians had people gods. My holy Christian friends have a divine image of a divine being that's a person, yeah? The Romans and the Greeks, their whole pantheon of their, what they called divine, was a bunch of people. In the Mayan religion, their deities were famous sports figures. You don't believe me? Check it out for yourself. In the Mayan religion, the religion and culture was based around a sporting game, which they considered sacred, and they would literally sacrifice and worship the winners of those games. They became what they called divine beings. So I think a lot of it's no surprise that a lot of our concepts of the divine have sort of been leaning towards the personified versions of the divine. But in the Jewish wisdom tradition, we have so many names for God, and God is not one of them. God is not an Israelite name for God. Okay, so we've gone over one name, the Ein Sof, infinite. Okay, maybe we'll even sing a little song. My friend Shivi Keller wrote a song called Enod Milvado, which means there's nothing else but. There's nothing else but the divine. Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado. Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, That's the whole song. It's sort of like a mantra. Sing with me. Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado, Enod Milvado. It's like Enod Milvado. Hey, no, Milvado. Well, you're probably saying to yourself, you're saying, Pesach, that's all nice and sweet. There's nothing else but the divine. Yeah, but why is the world such a mess? You're probably thinking to yourself, you're like, yo, organizers, that's really cute. The light of the divine. Well, what about all the rubbish? First of all, I would say, you've got a point. Okay, you've got a point. The world is sloppy. The world is messy. But one thing for us to play with, and I'm not claiming to like super know a lot about the divine, but one thing to ponder is really, maybe, this world is really completely built on love and support. There's a great kindness in every blade of grass, in every clump of dirt, and in every person available, in every moment, in every situation. And what a gift that the world was created this way, and that the mess of the world is on us. Right? Maybe we are in the Garden of Eden right now, but we've trashed the place. And so we often don't see the Eden around us because it's covered in a mess. I bless us, first of all, and last of all, to see the sparks of Eden and to see the revelation of Eden in ourselves, in whoever's in the room with you, and in whatever situation you're in. Amen. Okay. Any situation, you know. Joseph in the Torah is one of my favorite characters. You put him anywhere, you throw him in a pit. He's like, sparks of infinite, light of the divine, light of the infinite, where are you? Oh, there you are. Let's go. Let's sing about it. Let's look at it. Let's notice it. Let's stare at it from a place of recognizing. Huh? Put Joseph in a dungeon, in the nastiest place in the world. And he sees a brother in the corner sad. And he notices. And he sees the light of the infinite in the prisoner in the dungeon. The more we can see the sparks of the light of the infinite in our situations, whether they're terrible and also when they're beautiful, because a lot of times people are maybe even most oblivious to the revealed Eden in front of their eyes. Isn't that the strange truth? People are often very, if I'm like, why is this world not Eden? People, oh, let me tell you, this is wrong, that's wrong, this politician, on and on. I'll be like, and what about this reality is Edenic? That's neat. I never really thought about that. I guess there's some cool nature in some places. We've got a lot going for us. There's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of revealed Eden in front of us. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but when I want clean drinking water, of which I cannot live without, I walk a few feet away from me and I twist my wrist like this. And a fountain, like in the Torah, it talks about Moses speaking to or hitting a rock to get water to come out. It's sort of the same thing. I twist my hand on a piece of metal. I speak when I say a blessing to give thanks for it. Huh? Anyway, we've got a lot going for us. So here's to Eden. Here's to the light of the infinite. Yeah, like I said, there is a possibility that the divine has set up this reality. By the way, that's another name for the divine. The creator, the game master, the web master. Huh? So it is possible that the web designer, the creator, Haboreh, created this world with love. I bless us all to have eyes to see it and to be clear expressions of that love. It's possible, another possibility for us to ponder is that everything we say and everything that we do, all of our toilings, all of our social media posts, every time we present something, even every time we hurt someone, in some beautiful or weird, twisted way, it's always an expression of love or crying out for love. And sometimes those crying outs for loves can be disgusting, unspeakable. But if you boil it down, it comes from a desire for closeness, for connection, and for love. So I'm going to sing a little song about it goes like this. Everything I say and everything I do, an expression or a cry for love to come through. Everything I say and everything I do is an expression or a cry for love to come. When you love one another in your daily interactions, that's how you love the divine, whom you never see. When you love one another in your daily interactions, that's how you love the divine, whom you only see. More love, more light. The heavens are calling me, angels are singing. And this moment is calling, and this moment is singing. Oh Zion, oh Facebook, oh Internet, oh humans, oh you, oh me, more love and more life. Because everything I say and everything I do is an expression or a cry for more love to come through. Everything I say and everything I do is an expression or a cry for love to come through. Hey, hey, no, milvado. Hey, hey, no, milvado. I don't want to wait in vain for the revealed expression of your love. No, I don't want to wait for the revealed expression of your love. I say revealed expression because, hey, life is short. Don't hide it so much. Don't hide your love. Like, let's be a little bit more transparent with our love, huh? Okay? It starts with yourself, family, your life partner, your husband, your wife, your spouse, kids. Make that like a testing ground for the revelation of love and of light. Oh, okay, so light of the infinite. What a great topic to rap about. Light of the infinite. Light of the infinite. Okay, so what I'm purporting is that the light of the infinite is the divine. Mm-hmm. So what do we do with that? Okay, great Pesach. Great light of the infinite festival. Okay, so I understand it more. But like, what do I do with it? Okay, first of all, there's so much that we can do with it. We can talk about it. And we'll talk later if we make time for it. We'll talk more about using words to understand and hopefully bask in the light of the infinite. And that's really what we want to be doing. Gosh, I cut. Spoiler alert. Basking in the light of the infinite. That's really where the party's at, because talking about the light of the infinite is cute. Even understanding the light of the infinite is nice, but it's sort of like trying to upload the entire internet on a calculator. Anybody even remember what calculators are? Maybe for museums or something. They're like these machines used for computing. If you try to upload even just this interaction, let alone the totality of the internet on a calculator, the calculator would be like, it would probably crash. So a lot of times when we're trying to comprehend the divine, no offense, but we're calculators. When we're using our mind, I should say. When we're using words, I should say. We are like using a calculator to upload the internet. We might get little computations, calculations, and they're helpful. One thing I think that we can do, maybe even fully, is bask in the light of the infinite. And maybe that's why music is so awesome, is because when we are making music together, we can get to a place of spirit beyond words. Of course, in the Jewish wisdom tradition, we have a whole genre of music called the nigun, which is the wordless melody. So basking in the light of the infinite. Don't be surprised if you can't fully understand the light, the totality of the light of the infinite. We're calculators trying to upload the internet. Okay? The main thing to know, though, is the light of the infinite is happening. The light of the infinite. All of Kabbalah is happening right now. I'm going to disappear and let you ponder that for 10 seconds. I'm back. What'd you think? Did you bask? There's a region of France and Spain, I think, too, called the Basque region. Maybe there's some sparks together in the basking. The light of the infinite, everything that you're learning about today or in your life, and certainly all the Kabbalistic wisdoms, all of the sphirot, which are the spiritual building blocks of reality, don't ever forget that they're happening right now. All of it's happening right now. That's the most important place to remember. Is the great right now. And I swear, I've seen so many brilliant spiritual masters. I don't know if I'd even call them spiritual masters. Kabbalistic masters who spend almost all their time thinking, but not a lot of time with the experiencing the light of the infinite. And what a shame, to all the time be talking about something that's right in front of you. It'd be like talking about the greatest meal in the world, but never eating it. It'd be a shame. Eat. It's here. It's free and infinite. Is it free? I think it is free. I mean, sometimes you have to do a little bit of work, but most of the work, believe it or not, spiritual work, believe it or not, a lot of it, and there is like daily practice, but a lot of it is also like removing blockages, which is work. But yeah, so anyway, it's a nice setup. We're set up nicely. The light of the infinite is everywhere. It's happening now. This world is created with love. Okay, all right. So let's talk about, that's a little bit about the light of the infinite. I want to talk a little bit also just about specific, how do I say this? Maybe specific fixings, tikkunim, Yehudim, unifications, Yehudim and tikkunim. That'd be a nice name for a book for somebody. Fixings and unifications that maybe you have thought of before. Maybe it'll be helpful to get a reminder. Or maybe these are like, whoa, I never really thought about that. That's going to help me allow the light of the infinite flow through me in a more revealed way. BTW, it's Rosh Chodesh. It's the new month. It's a new lunar month. And in this month of Sivan, we have the holiday Shavuot, which is our holiday of revelation. Okay? It's a revelation celebration. That's why this is happening right now. And I swear, one of the keys to revelation isn't like, it's not having a really great pair of glasses or binoculars or even having like some amazing spiritual teaching. It seems to me it's a huge part of it anyway. It's cleaning the schmutz off. Cleaning the schmutz off. You know, spiritual teachings can help us de-schmutzify. Moses, who is considered to be our greatest prophet, who had our greatest revelation kicked down, they say the reason he was so able was because he was a clean channel, a clean mirror, a clean lens. He got the schmutz off. He wasn't blocking it, so it could flow through him. Well, guess what, y'all? That's our work too. I promise, that's our work. So I want to share some ideas and techniques that can help us expand our consciousness and expand our revelation so that we could be greater agents of love and light and revelation. I guess I'll start with something physical, practical, because maybe that's like most important. You're probably getting a lot of words. I want to give you like a practice. This is like my go-to meditation, I guess you call it. It's a sitting practice, although its highest form is a walking meditation, meaning you're doing this just while you're going about your business. All right, it's called Seeing More, or Owl Eyes. Okay, some of you hopefully are practiced in this, and probably some of you this is brand new. Okay, revelation, seeing more. We got the kick down at Har Sinai, right? We got a kick down of revelation. At some point, though, the Israelites were like, yo, Moses, can you like intercede for us? Because it's just a little bit too much. We feel like we're disintegrating. It's too much direct connection. Many years later, in a less acclaimed Mount Sinai summiting, Elijah the prophet goes back to Mount Sinai. What? Yes. Elijah the prophet takes a road trip back to Mount Sinai. It's a whole wonderful, meaningful story, is like a poor word, but a piece of Tanakh where Elijah goes back. And I'm not going to get so into it because I'm trying to. But one point that to play with is, why did he go back to Mount Sinai? Maybe because there's more. There's more for us to grok. There's more revelation for us to reveal. And I'm going to get to this meditation in a moment. It's possible that we've been to the bottom of the valley already. It's possible that, certainly as the nation of Israel, I'll speak as an Israelite here, it's possible that as Israelites, we've already been to the lowest of the low. I sure hope so. I don't want to get into it too much, but between inquisitions, pogroms, and the Holocaust, we as a people have been to the bottom. And maybe humanity has been to the bottom. I hope that we're done with that. But it's possible that we have not yet been to the top, right? It's possible that there's a goodness, a revelation, a revealed goodness that has yet, we haven't been to the greatest revelation yet. And so, I don't know, like maybe that's part of our work, is to work towards this communal revelation. Let's get to the practice. The practice looks like this. It's about seeing more of what's actually in the room around you. Sometimes when we meditate, we imagine things. I imagine a white light filling my body. That's great. I would say even experience. It's more than imagining. You can even have an experience of white light filling your body. Great. We can experience a letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Sometimes when I meditate, I experience the letter Yud on my forehead, or I commune with the letter Aleph, or I connect with my breath, which is also wonderful because that's really happening. But in this meditation, I'm going to share with you, we're going to be connecting to the actual room that we're in. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. What you got to do is pick a spot in front of you. So it could be, I don't know if you have a dot on your computer or there's a dot on the wall in front of you. I pray to God some of you are outdoors right now, although I know you're on a phone or machine, but maybe there are trees in front of you, or flowers. Pick one flower or one leaf on a tree way out in front of you and lock on it. Stare at it for the next 3 minutes. Keep your eye locked. No matter what I say, keep your focus on that one point. I'm going to do it too with you. I'm going to look into here. What you're going to do is, while you're staring forward, I want you to notice what is in front of you, but to the right. So I'm looking forward, but I can see something over there. I can see, okay? I'm noticing what's in my periphery. If you're looking at trees, you'll see one tree there without moving your eyeballs. And now I see a tree over there. Maybe you see a wall. How far out to the right can you see without adjusting your eyeballs? Try that out. I'm going to do this practice very quickly. You have the whole rest of your life to play with it and to slow it down. You can watch this video again. So now I'm all the way out to the right. Maybe I can see 90 degrees to the right. Now, back to center. Do the same thing, but to the left. Oh, there's something. Ding, 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 ding. There's something. Ding, 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 ding. They're all the way out to the left. It might feel a little funny, like stretching a muscle that you haven't maybe ever stretched. Here's where things start to get funny. I want you, with your eyes locked forward, to look all the way out to the right and all the way out to the left. Flooding ourselves. Maybe when we light the Shabbos candles and we go like this, maybe we're pulling in the flood. Okay. Can you see all the way out to the right and all the way out to the left at the same time? If you're trying and it's not working, just come back. Just keep stretching out, because we're going to keep the train moving. This whole time, while we've been looking right and left, there's been a hole above us. Oh yeah, it's been there the whole time. We just have not necessarily been noticing it so much. So while staring straight forward, can you see what's above you? Maybe a ceiling, maybe a treetop, maybe a sky, maybe a cloud, maybe a sun, maybe a moon, stars. Heaven, if you're into that sort of thing. Can you see all the way? Now with looking straight forward, can you also see down? Maybe see your nose, or your knees, or your feet, or the grass, or a carpet, or the ocean. Oh, the ocean. Can you see what's below you? It's good to know what's in front of you in all directions. So now, here's where it gets super, super fun. I want you to look all the way out to the right, all the way out to the left, all the way up, and all the way down, all at the same time. Ready, go. Feels funny. One more layer that I want to add to this revelation is I want you to quiet your mind. You know how there's like always like a blabber box in there? No offense, I got one too. Blah diddy blah. Whoa, who is this guy? You know, just commenting on this class, commenting on me, thinking about when your next meal is gonna come. Should you change channels? No, stay here. Do whatever you want. You know, thoughts about the future, thinking, but it lives in words. Please take the next minute to let your words take a vacation. Can you do it? No words, just visual information pouring into your being from all directions. And if your mind starts talking, I know this is very quick, but again, you can watch this and rewind, hit the pause button and do this in slow steps. The next layer that I would add is listening. How many sounds are all around you? Can you notice maybe an air conditioner, maybe a bird chirping, maybe the wind blowing through the trees, maybe the waves crashing on the shore, maybe you're breathing, maybe your heart beating. Can you hear all of them all at once without clinging to one? What's the furthest away sound that you can hear? And can you hear all of them at once? So the last part of the meditation is to see in all directions and to listen wordlessly at the same time. Go play and practice for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's a revelation practice that I love a lot for you to take with you. I want to talk briefly about what time it is. What time is it? It's the Shemitah. It's the sabbatical year, the radical sabbatical year. The Israelites in the nation of Israel have a law from the Torah that says that on the seventh year, which we're in right now, we're not allowed to till the fields. We're not allowed to plant things. We have to let the land have a radical sabbatical. Let the land have a Sabbath, Shabbat, La'aretz. Okay, so we're in that right now. Furthermore, on the sabbatical year, my fruit trees are not my fruit trees in the land of Israel, and your fruit trees in the land of Israel aren't yours. We have to sort of like take our hands out a little bit, because on some level it's true, right? Like the land has been around for so super long before us, will be around so long after us. These trees are living, metabolizing, breathing beings. And on the Shemitah year, we have to spend a whole year sort of step back and be like, you know what? You're your own person. You're your own thing. Do your thing. And I'm going to do something else. Maybe go sailing. So I want you to know about that, just because it's going on and it's like a mitzvah to learn about a mitzvah. But also, it opens up a whole really important topic. It's a really dear, precious topic to me. And that is the Shemitah year strengthens my self-control and my desire to take, or to mistake, as in mistake, mistake. On the sabbatical year, I'm not allowed to harvest in abundance. I'm not allowed to hoard. I'm not allowed to do it. I can take a little bit. I'm not allowed to hoard, and I have to share my plants. That does something to a person. For the next 6 years, I'm going to be different because I had an experience of controlling my desire to take. And I think that one of the greatest things that Judaism, and really religion in general, gives us, one of the greatest, is it strengthens our self-control. A lot of people in this world eat whatever they want, whenever they want, they say whatever they want with no consciousness, no mindfulness. The word filter sometimes gets a bad rap, but like, we create worlds with our words, and so like, I don't want to just create a world of junk, of crap, even if I have a crappy thought, God forbid, that wants to come out of my mouth. You know, if I have self-control, I know how to say, I'm not going to let that out. I don't want to trash the Garden of Eden anymore. So it takes self-control, right? And I would say, and this is one of my postulations that I want to put out there, that's maybe been revealed to me, I would say, that I'm sharing with you, and I probably learned it from other people as well, is that if you were going to find a master topic for the mess of the world, you say, look at this mess and that mess and this mess and that mess. What unifies the mess of the world? One possible way to categorize them all, maybe, is something to play with, is mistaking. Taking an unhealthy way of taking. What do I mean? What do you mean, Pesach? Well, the wars of the world, aren't they all mistaking? Remember, the world was filled with empires, land grabbing for tens and tens of thousands of years. What's happening in Ukraine right now was completely normative, like 100 years ago and before. That's just what everybody did. ISIS, everybody knows ISIS, this religious group that's going around with swords and guns and bombs. I don't even like to say their name. Well, guess what? The Catholic Church used to go around with swords and torture devices and force people to convert. They just did. I mean, some of my ancestors were on those torture racks. It's very common. The British Empire, the French, the Chinese, the Portuguese, the Mayans, everybody was swallowing their neighbors if they could. Just about everybody. Okay? Mistaking. They were taking in the wrong way. And it created a big mess. Sometimes we look at the world today and we're like, why isn't it better? Why is there still so much violence in the world? And yes, and please, and may it be fixed. And put it in context. We are right now just coming out of tens of thousands of years of manpires. Look at a history book. War after war after war after war. Huh? Mistaking. Sexual violence. Thank God it's being addressed. Maybe for the first time in a broad way, in a global way where there's consciousness around sexual violence in the workplace, sexual violence in the home. This has been a plague on humanity. Going back, from very close to the beginning, there was sexual violence. The ripples, unfathomable, uncomprehendable to try to compute the ripples of sexual violence historically and how it affects the state of the world today. And thank God it's being addressed, all right? Like sexual harassment in the workplace is not, hopefully not accepted in a lot of places in the world, for example. Thank God, but it's rare. It's new to address that. Sexual violence is a form of mistaking. It's taking something that's not yours. And that you didn't ask. There was no consent. There was no listening. Huh? The environment. These are big, big things. Okay, so we stopped land grabbing so much. There's a lot less empire land stealing. When it does happen, it's like a big deal, and the whole world's like, hey, that's bad, for the first time in all of humanity. But now we've sort of taken our warring, mistaking desires and pointed it at the earth, and at the oceans, and the rivers, and the forests, and the animals. And it's heinous. Heinous beyond computation. I'm a computer. I'm a calculator trying to upload the entire internet when I try to compute the ripples of species extinction and what's happening to the oceans and to the land and the temperature rising. Can't really, but to tie it into a possible revelation theme for us to work on, to notice and to work on, mistaking. How do we take from the earth? How do we take from the ocean? Because it can be very vulgar, or it can be an act of supreme beauty and of harmony. Up to us. And I think one of the reasons I love being a Jew, an Israelite, is that being an Israelite and following halacha, being adherent to a code. You out on the road, you must have a code that you can live by. One of the gifts of the code is that there's a strengthening of my desire for taking. Every time before I eat, I have to stop. First of all, just that. Eating is like a very big form of taking. Every time I eat, I have to stop. And then I have to think, is this kosher? Is this appropriate for me? Huh? When I say a blessing, I am publicly connecting the light of the infinite to this salad. Publicly connecting. I say publicly connecting because it's already there. I'm just making a declaration, a proclamation of the great what's going on. And I'm also noticing where it comes from, which is a really important thing to notice. Where do things come from and where do things go? Yeah, I wish I could see your faces. Is this cool? I can't even see comments. But maybe afterwards, if you leave a comment, I'll try to reply to them. So stopping, thinking, declaring, and noticing where this comes from. Because that's all part of, what's the opposite of mistaking? Write in the comments here. What would be the opposite of mistaking? I think there's a new word ready to be born. Elevating, beautifully taking. I don't know. There's probably a better word. Okay, and so first of all, yeah, there's an art to taking. In my tradition, our tradition, like, gives us those tools, and it's so needed in the world today. And of course, being a religious person gives you so many opportunities to work out your self-control muscle, right? Make it so strong that it's almost like unbreakable. Like if you have a Sabbath practice and it's strong, like you might have a desire. I hope you don't. And it can get to a point where the desire to whatever, it can sort of just get really, really quiet or dulled down or gone, I'd say. Like maybe there's a big juicy apple on your tree and you're hungry for it on Saturday or desirous, but you're like, you know what, it's the Sabbath. I'm going to leave that apple on a tree because there's a Jewish law that you're not supposed to pluck plants or plant matter on Shabbat. my muscles getting bigger, right? I use self-control. Maybe my friend is doing something cool. My non-Jewish friend who's amazing and brilliant and beautiful is doing something cool in Shabbat. Unless I can spend the whole Shabbat near them, I can't go. I'm not going to go. Muscle gets strong, right? Of course, keeping kosher. There's so many Jewish laws that give us the opportunity to flex our self-control muscle. And what I am purporting again is that this is part of the missing medicine of the world today. Taking with beauty and also having the self-control to be able to sometimes not take, to leave. I'm a wild medicine man, and one of my practices when I'm harvesting wild medicine is not whenever, but often when I find like the most beautiful, the most luscious medicine flower or plant, the one that I'm most excited to take, when I start feeling like, I can't wait to show my friends this or to ingest this. So dafka, that one, dafka, I can't explain that word, but precisely that plant, I leave. I'm going to leave you for me so that I can strengthen my self-control, because in this life, you need to call that self-control muscle quite a bit. So anyway, it's Shemitah time. I want to bless us all to be sacred takers, to take with beauty, with listening, with consent from the earth, from wherever you're taking from your source. Moments of pause, moments of listening before you take from this world. I don't think I'm going to go so deep into this. Another way that we reveal the light of the infinite is through words. It's a tricky art. I think we'll talk more about that another time. Let's sing a song. Hey, when there is light in the soul, there's always light in the soul. There is beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there is harmony in the whole. When there is harmony in the whole, there is honor in the nation. When there is honor in the nation, there is peace on earth. And when there is peace on earth, there is light in the soul. When there is light in the soul, there is beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there is harmony in the whole. When there is harmony in the whole, there is honor in the nation. When there is honor in the nation, there is peace on earth. And when there is peace on earth, there is light in the soul. When there is light of the infinite in the soul, there is beauty. Oh, beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there is harmony. I said harmony. Give me harmony in the whole. Yo, thank you so much for spending your most precious, limited resource of your time with me. I hope it was helpful, meaningful. I hope you have questions. I hope that you're hungry and not fully satiated. You got your wheels turning a little bit. I hope that you take ideas from our time together here and that you go further with them. Bring them to your table, bring them to your holy days, and turn them over and come up with your own revelations. Thank you for spending your time to listen to mine.